What's up, everyone? It's Matt from Surf City TCG here. Got a spicy one for you today. This is a new commander from Duskmourn, Arabella Abandoned Doll. She is a 2 mana, 1 red, 1 white, legendary artifact creature toy. She's a 1/3, and whenever she attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent, and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 2 or less. So her being a 1 power creature, you'll automatically get at least 1 point of damage to all players and gain 1 life, assuming you haven't buffed her up in any way. And then obviously we're going to play a lot of token makers and a lot of other small creatures so that we can really just slug the table down for massive points of damage, starting with a very early clock, being able to drop her on turn 2. So in case you haven't figured it out yet, this is a highly aggressive deck, way more aggressive than the decks I normally play. I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone a little bit and play decks that are a little bit more aggressive in Commander. I feel like generally what I do is just lean on a lot of ramp and just powerful late game synergies, but this deck is the polar opposite of that. So let's talk about it a little bit. So for starters, this is a high power deck. I put power range 7 to 8 here, and I think that's pretty close. It's definitely more on the 8 side, although, you know, as with many aggressive decks in Commander, it can be shut down pretty hard. If they knock out Arabella once or twice, you're kind of out of the game. The deck doesn't do very much without her. So for that reason, we are running a lot of protection and like a little bit of redundancy, which we'll talk through in a minute. But let's take a start off by looking at the deck's curve, and you'll notice that it's a very, very low curve deck. Everything's clustered up in this 1 to 3 range, even more so than almost any other deck I play. And that really, the point is really driven home when you look and see that the average mana value of the deck is 1.67 including lands, or 2.36 without lands, so very low. The average spells between 1 and 2 mana. And you know, that bears out in just looking at, like, look how many spells we have in this range. And then the vast majority of the rest of the spells are 3, with very small numbers of these high mana spells. So one thing that's going to be very important when you play this deck is to mulligan well. I know I say that in every video, but mulliganing for this deck is critically important. If you keep a slow hand that's like 4 lands and a 3-drop, and plan on playing on Arabella on turn 2 and then a 3-drop on turn 3 and hoping you draw some non-land gas, that's not going to work. So make sure you're keeping gassy hands that like are going to be able to pop off and hopefully have what you need to refuel. So I want to switch over to my custom types and tags. You can do that by going in the grouping section here. And actually, before I move on, I just want to make a quick note and say, like, if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm a brand new content creator, so I really need the feedback, and you know, it really helps me a lot if you like and subscribe and even comment on my videos. It helps tell YouTube that like you're enjoying my content and you want to see more of it. And if you're not, that's fine too, don't. But I appreciate you watching, and I hope you do that for me. I also have a Discord where we have a very active community there, so please join that. If you're not familiar with Discord, haven't really used it before, it's really easy. It's just like an old school chat room basically, and you can figure it out. It's not too hard. So I'll put the link in the description below along with the link to this deck list. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm going to switch over to these types and tags. In Moxfield, these are all things I've added myself, so you'd have to do that to get them. But you can duplicate my deck by going to more, duplicate, and you can even copy the tags if you want in my primer. So if you want to build this deck and you want to use the same tags that I'm using, I think this works. Just click include card tags and then you'll copy all of mine. So let's switch over. And I'm not going to talk about every single thing I have categorized because there are quite a lot of them. I know this is a little bit messy, but like, let's just focus on the ones that are critical to every deck and then what's important for this deck. Starting off with mana and ramp, normally a category that is extremely important for most decks. This is actually one where we are putting far less emphasis on this than we normally do. And the reason for that is well, this is a highly aggressive deck where we just want to blaze out of the gates and we don't necessarily want to spend time and lose tempo by developing mana that will pay off over many turns. We don't want the game to go many turns, right? We just want it to end in a blaze of glory, hopefully in our favor. So for that reason, we have actually far fewer mana ramp sources than normal, and I've actually debated about even cutting more, like cutting Arcane Signet and Talisman, the best 2 mana rocks, because it's not really what we want to be doing. But I think, the deck has enough mid-game oomph that it's worth running a few mana sources here. And then the other ones we are running are either hyper efficient, i.e. Lotus Petal and Simian Spirit Guide. I did choose not to go with the Moxen, like to make this deck like very, very powerful, like a solid 8.5 power. But you could certainly add those. Like if you wanted this deck to just be as powerful as it can get, you'd certainly want to add like Chrome Mox, Mox Diamond, Mox Opal, Mox Amber. All of those are worth running in this deck. And even these ones that are just like a one-time burst of 1 mana can be very strong. Like developing Arabella a turn early, or developing her and being able to keep up a protection spell like Reprieve Urge, Tybalt Trickery, or something like that, one of these other like protectors, could be the difference between you winning and losing a game. So although that we have very few pieces of mana, the ones that we do have are very important to the deck. Next major category I like to look at is board wipes and removal. So I'm only running one board wipe right now, and the reason for that is not only is this an aggressive deck who wants to pretty much have the most creatures on the board and not be worrying about board wipes, we also don't want to be spending time casting reactive spells. This deck is all about proactivity, aggressiveness, and slowing down your game plan and allowing others to develop so you can get an advantage by wiping the board, for example, it's just not what this deck's looking to do. Now, if you're against a bunch of super aggressive decks and you draw a hand that happens to work out that way, like fine, I guess you could play it that way, but in general, you should be mulliganing for hands that can be proactive and just get out of the gates. So the only board wipe we're running is Calamity of Cinders. This is a new one from Bloomburrow, and I really like it in this deck because we have a lot of creatures with which we can convoke, and all it takes is 5, 6, or 7 creatures to tap. This could be cast for free if we have 7 creatures that are untapped. And the nice thing about Arabella is it's an advantage if we have a lot of creatures out, but really Arabella is the only one that needs to attack. So if we don't send all of the others, that's fine. And that makes Calamity of Cinders really powerful because we can tap them and not worry about it. We still get the advantage from Arabella, and then this turns into kind of a one-sided board wipe. So I'm testing this card out. I think it's good enough. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't drawn it in my practice games yet, so I want to think it's going to be pretty strong in this deck, but I'm just not 100% sure yet. And then for our other removal, we're running 11 pieces, which is pretty standard. I'd say you want generally around 10 to 12 of single target removal, and then for most decks you want 2 to 4 board wipes. So we're running less board wipes, but we're still running a decent amount of single target removal because certain things, certain spells can really shut this deck down hard. Think about something like a Darksteel Mutation on Arabella, which would turn her off completely and not even allow us to recast her. We don't want to run into a situation where that happens and we're just totally turned off. So we are running a lot of single target removal. Most of it is just hyper efficient, including the new Static Prison from MH3. I think this card is phenomenal. It's definitely underrated, and I think the energy part kind of distracts from the power of this card. In fact, if you just ignore the energy and pretend this says Vanishing 2, which is basically what it is in this deck, that's really all we need is a couple turns to just get something out of the way so we can win. So try out this card. For 1 mana, being able to exile any non-land permanent for 2.5 turns is really strong. And then the other stuff we're running is just the most powerful red and white pieces, like wear and tear is really efficient, and it can get us a 2-for-1, which is great. Or we can just cast it on turn 1 to tear an enchantment, like a Mystic Rumour or something that is like. Usually you want to save these spells for stuff that's gonna like slow you down, like a propaganda, maybe a blind obedience, stuff like that. And then I'm running Season of the Burrow in this deck. I think this card is playable. I think it's pretty good in this deck, honestly, because like the 3-paw mode can return Arabella from our graveyard with an indestructible counter. Now, if you're against some like blue decks or stuff that you think might be able to interact with this spell, be pretty careful about putting her in the graveyard, because if this gets countered and then we have no way to get her out of the graveyard, that's pretty bad for us. So just be on the lookout for that. You know, a lot of times it might be right to just play 5 of the 1-paw mode and get 5 tokens and then swing in with Arabella, and now you're hitting the board for minimum 6, but maybe even quite a lot more than that. So that's the removal suite we're running. I really love Ghost Fire Slice, by the way. Like, you'll notice I'm prioritizing it over like the obviously ultra efficient Lightning Bolt. And in Commander, I think this is the right play. This almost always costs 1. I don't think I've ever paid 3 for this spell. And it does an extra damage. And it's colorless, so you can hit something wearing a Sword of Fire and Ice, for example, even though it has protection from red, and this is a red spell. It's also a devoid spell, so it's not red, it is colorless. In fact, sometimes when I'm like sorting my deck and trying to find the cards, I'll sort by color, and then Moxfield puts this in colorless, and like it always confuses me. But I'm like, oh yeah, it is colorless. So kind of funny. Last thing I want to look at is, well, actually, sorry, not the last thing. The last 2 things I want to look at are draw and draw engines. So we're running a little light on these categories because, again, this is an aggressive deck. We're not looking to necessarily develop a draw engine that's going to like carry us through the mid and late game, because if we make it to the mid or late game, we're probably not winning that game. That's not to say that it's impossible, but with a deck like this that's very aggressive, it gets harder and harder to win the longer the game goes. So just keep that in mind, and like if you get a hand that has like 2 or 3 of these, maybe that's a mulligan, because we don't want to just set up, even though it might appear to be a good hand for most decks, we don't want to set up a situation where we build this sort of long-term play for the late game and then the deck doesn't have the oomph to get there. So just be wary of that. And then lastly, protection and counters. So I'm running 3 counters in a white-red deck. Counters, air quotes. Deflecting Spot, which is, a natural. Reprieve. If you haven't played with or against the spell, I recommend you do the former and not the latter, although I don't think you can help it playing against it. But it's just so powerful. Like, this card always gets people. They don't ever expect the white counter spell, and I just love it. It feels so good to cast this card. And then Tybalt Trickery, again, just see my comments about Reprieve. No one expects it. It counters essential things, and the stuff they hit can be worse, but like almost always is not, because the thing they're casting is the thing that they needed right then, and stopping it with one of these spells just really like jams the brakes on people's game plans. So these are all very powerful. I wouldn't recommend cutting them. And if you've got one in hand, you kind of feel like you're on top of the world, especially if you've got a strong board state already. So just be cautious about what you use them on. Make sure it really matters, because we obviously only have a limited number of these. And then we're running quite a lot of other protection spells. This is normally more than I would put in a deck, but given that it is so important to keep Arabella on the board, keep her swinging, it's important to have a lot of ways to protect her. And she is an artifact creature, so that makes her even more vulnerable. Like, stuff that hits artifacts can destroy her, stuff that hits creatures can destroy her. She's got a low toughness, so just be careful when you run her out there and make sure you've got adequate protection, because if people have played against this deck before, or if they're just astute players, they're going to recognize that they need to remove this. It's like high priority removal target, so make sure you build up the protection in advance, and these are all great ways to do that. And lastly, like, I guess what the deck is rounded out with is synergy pieces and token makers. So we've got 20 different cards that make tokens. These are all like the most efficient ways to do that. And, you know, a couple extra combat spells, some other like big finishers. Let's just sort by mana value so we can take a look at like what are the big spells we're running. So this isn't really mana value 8. We're probably playing this on 2. And maybe we use the 6 mana mode, but more than not, often than not, you're going to cast this on 2 and you're never going to touch the porcelain gallery half. But sometimes it's a good finisher when, like, you know, it does turn off Arabella's ability because it makes everything bigger. But if, you know, sometimes it can be better to have a board of 6/6s, 7/7s, whatever, than being able to ping everyone. So just keep that in mind as an option, but we're mainly playing this for the front half. Calamity of Cinders, we already talked about. Mob Rule, this card is like so good. You know, whichever mode you end up choosing, like obviously you would prefer to cast the second mode to gain control of all creatures power 3 or less, because then you're getting a bunch more things for Arabella to see and to damage everyone. But, you know, if it turns out that the top half is better, yeah, so what that the stuff doesn't like trigger Arabella. Like you're stealing a bunch of 4+ mana creatures, taking them away as blockers and giving them to you. That is like, you know, game ending, right? Aurelia is nuts in this deck. Getting an extra combat with Arabella, presumably you got through on the first attack, and therefore you still should be able to get through on the second attack, if not it being even easier. So Aurelia, you know, if you drop her, it's pretty much game ending. And then the other big spell that we didn't talk about is Taunt from the Rampart. Absolutely love this card. I feel like it does not see enough play. This card is so strong. Like, it's like a Disrupt Decorum, right? Except that it also makes it so nothing can block. So first of all, like, you get free attack with all of your creatures on anyone this when you play it. And then you don't even have to worry about the strike back, right? Like you're tapped out because you just attacked someone, but everything's goaded, so no one can even attack you. This card's just like crazy. This will end more games than any other card in the entire deck, and you're absolutely gonna love it. I've never ever been unhappy to draw this. It is so powerful and it just like blows games wide open that maybe you otherwise had no chance of winning. Just a nutty card. So that's pretty much all the things I want to talk about with the deck. I'm going to do a little bit of sideboard practice, like mulligan practice, not sideboard, sorry. And we'll go through some practice hands. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, please like and subscribe to the video if you haven't already, and consider joining my Discord. Let's jump into some practice hands. All right, so what I would do is when you're watching this section, encourage you to pause the video when you see the hand and make the decision yourself. Would you keep this hand if it were you? Let's assume we don't know who our opponents are. We don't know what turn order is, all that. Like, we don't need to worry about any of that stuff. But this is our opening 7, and we get 1 free mulligan. So do you want to keep this hand? Pause it, make your decision, and yeah, I don't think so. We've got 1 mana source and it's a Lotus Petal. This is obviously a mulligan, right? So let's see our second 7. So this is now our second 7. Pause the video. Tell me, do you keep this on your second 7? So this is actually quite a tough one. I think we keep this hand. We don't have a turn 1 play, which is a bummer because the deck does have like 25 to 30, I think, 1 mana plays. I mean, we do. We have Static Prison, right? But the chances that we will need or want to cast this on turn 1 are very low. That being said, like, this looks like an excellent hand, aside from not having a 1-drop, right? We've got a 2 mana play, which we always do. It's Arabella. And we don't have any protection for her, but we've got a nice like engine draw source here in Juska's Will that can like see us a lot of gas, and we can just drop Krenko plus whatever we draw off the Juska's Will. We can play a fetch land on turn 1 to grab a surveil land since we have no turn 1 play. So I think this hand's actually quite good. So let's keep it and see how it goes. Draw for turn, and look at that, we drew into a turn 1 play, and that's going to happen. We have a ton of them, right? It's like a third of the deck, so you shouldn't assume you're going to draw one, but like it's going to happen sometimes. So question now is, what land do we play? We could play the Windswept Heath and grab our Plateau, which is the original dual land. The advantage to that play is like it thins the deck of land, and we've got 3 land already, which is pretty much all we're going to want. But I think it is better to save the Heath to grab our Surveil land if we have like a turn where we can't use all of our mana perfectly. That might be better. So let's, in that case, we can't play the Sundown Pass because it will enter tapped, right? No, Sundown Pass enters tapped unless you control 2 or more. Yeah, so I thought I took this out actually. Let's start off with the Battlefield Forge. Let's drop the Legion's Landing. We make a token, Vampire. And we're already on the board with a creature, which is great. Move to our next turn. All right, we got a nice like late game draw engine card, one of the only ones we are running. So let's drop the Windswept Heath since we didn't draw another land. We do want to right now, so we do need to play this. Let's grab our Plateau. Let's drop the Doll. And we'll swing in for 1 if we're able to. All right, let's go to our next turn. Okay, so now we've got Arabella online, and we've got a lot of options, right? So what do we do? So I think we're definitely playing this land, right? If we had access to cast Jessica's Will without this land, I think we should do that because we do want to play the land we exiled off Jessica's Will. But given that we can't cast this right now, I think we start off with Sundown Pass. And we could cast Jessica's Will right now. Presume we're going to get either 6 or 7 mana, I think it's fair to say. And we could drop the Facebreaker and Krenko if we like hit nothing off this. Or we could just skip Jessica's Will right now and instead just like throw down the Facebreaker. I think this is a pretty good play too. I think I might lean toward doing that. It's a little ambitious to Jessica's Will and then play 2 3-drops. If we get hit with a board wipe the next turn, that like takes us out of the game pretty hard. So I'd be cautious about overextending here, going into a turn where people might have something like Toxic Deluge or Vanquish the Horde or even like a Wrath of God they can play on turn 4. So just be careful around here, and playing aggro deck's tough. You have to understand like how much to commit to the board. We do have this Trouble in Pairs to kind of get back into the game should we get board wiped here. But I think the safe play is just let's run out the Facebreaker. Let's get in with these 2. And then on attack, right? We don't trigger Legion's Landing. We need 3 attackers, but we do trigger Arabella. She sees we have 3 creatures, power 2 or less. So we hit the board for 3, we gain 3. And obviously you want to send her in somewhere where she's not going to die in combat. That should be pretty easy on turn 3, given that she's a 1/3. Like, the chance of everyone having a 3 power or greater blocker is very low. But, starting the following turn, it gets harder and harder for her to get in safely. So we really want to draw into one of our like protection pieces. So, ideally we want to send at different defenders, 1 at each, so we get up to 2 treasures off the Facebreaker. But for the purposes of this, I'm just going to go to the next hand. This hand kind of plays out pretty well from here. So let's start another one. All right, pause it. Tell me you keep this hand. If only this was not this, right? This is going to enter tapped. I do want to cut this land. I did not intend for it to be in here. It was in my first draft, but I don't think this is a good land. I think these slow lands are quite good in almost all commander decks, but not aggro decks, because as you can see, this hand would be pretty fantastic, I think, if this was just any other dual land. But now if we can't keep it, right? We're not keeping a 1-lander where we might not even draw another land, and then our only play is to drop Ragavan on turn 2. Not good enough. So unfortunately, we're going to toss this hand. If you kept this and just rolled the dice I mean, more power to you, but I don't like keeping hands that are totally reliant on what we draw. Right? How about this hand? Do you keep this one? I should hope so. If you said no, what are you thinking? This hand looks like incredibly insane. We've got turn one Soul Ring to Dolmen Gate, or we have turn one Goblin Motivator, which is great because it like lets us give haste to Arabella on turn two. I don't even like this hand's so good that I don't even know which play is better. I think. I mean, let's just draw and see what we get. And we do the Swift of Boots. Okay. Well, so we're playing this, obviously. And then, like, let's say we go Soul Ring Boots. And then we untap, we have, yeah, I guess, like, we untap, we play Arabella, we equip Boots. And then we don't use the extra one, colorless. Or we equip Boots twice, just for the walls. Yeah, and then we get Onion Pical out, and it's like GG from there with Dolmen Gate. Like, this hand's nuts. You know, I love this hand, especially this combo is really good because, like, we can attack with everything, not worry about the stuff dying. Attack with whatever we want, right? Use the rest to convoke and just, like, board wipe everyone. The only problem with this hand is if this dies and we don't draw into anything else, like, maybe we fizzle out, but I think this hand usually gets there given what we will likely draw. Let's just look at another one. All right, pause it and tell me, do you keep this hand? 5 lander in a 29 land deck. Go figure. This hand's okay, but I don't think we keep this on our opening 7. We can do better. You know, if one of these was a fetch land, I'd be more inclined to keep it because then we can surveil one. If we hit a land, we could put that in the graveyard and ensure we like at least hit some gas, but I think we can do better. Let's look at another 7 here. All right, pause it and tell me, do you keep this one? Yeah, this hand's great. We've got a turn 1 play, we've got a turn 2 play, which is Arabella. You know, we could do a couple different ways. It's probably better to play Goro Goro first, and then you drop Arabella. You can pay 1 red on turn 3, give her haste, and boom, we're there, right? And then you can give Krenko haste the following turn. So this hand looks real good. And then Reconnaissance is just broken, right? Like, it basically is just like Dolmen Gate, except everything untaps also. This card's crazy. So, yeah, I mean, like, I don't even know if we need to play this out. It's just like I said, and this goes to town, like, real hard. And we have piece of removal if we need it. I'd love to see a hand like this. Let's look at another one. Okay, pause it. Do you keep this one? It's a tough one. So 1 lander, obviously, you know, we do have a fetch, which means we can get the surveil land and see basically an extra card. So if we look at the top card and it's a non-land, we can put it in the graveyard, meaning we get to see 3 cards to find 1 land for our turn 2, right? The problem is that, you know, what do we do then? Because even if we make it and like find the turn 2 land, do we play Arabella there or do we play Arcane Signet there? I think like we probably play Arcane Signet. Maybe we play Arabella and then the following turn we can go Arcane Signet into Ocelot Pride. And Ocelot Pride doesn't really do anything here. It's just a 1/1. Like maybe it makes a 1/1 later when it hits because of lifelink. But, you know, 3 of the spells in our hand are quite expensive. And this doesn't do anything until later, so we don't really want this in our opener. Siege getting Lieutenant is insane, but we're not guaranteed to get there. So is this better than 6? I don't know. I think I'd probably mulligan to 6 first keeping this, but it's close. Okay. How about this hand? This is our 6. Do we keep this or do we go to 5? What do you think? Tough spot, right? It's like the Esper's here to taunt us. You know, the majority of our mana sources are white. You know, we have more white land, we have more, most of our artifacts aside from Soul Ring can make white. This hand's very good if we draw white. If we don't, we do nothing, right? Literally nothing. We could eventually channel Soken's. We're gonna have to bottom something too, so like that's a consideration, right? I think we bottom Slayer's Stronghold. So white mana sources, I think we've got, I'm just gonna guess and say like 25. So that means with 92 cards in the deck, we've got, you know, like a 1 in 3.5 chance at drawing a white source each draw. Chances are we get there by turn 3. I think we're better off going down to 5 than keeping this, but I don't know. The payoff, we have lands. I think we actually, I've reconsidered. I think we keep this because we have lands we can play, right? We're color screwed, but at least we're not missing land drops. And I think this hand is good enough that if we draw white, even on turn 3, this is a very good hand. So let's go for it. Let's bottom this card. Let's see what happens. All right, we draw a non-land, play mountain, go to our next turn. Bummer. Play Soken's, go to our next turn. Hey, we got there. Look at that. Okay. Now what do we do? I don't really know. I think like best play is to get Lauren out because we could draw with it next turn and hopefully draw another land. I think that is what we do. We blow up someone's Soul Ring or Mana Rock or whatever. Doesn't matter. Just like hit the thing that's most threatening and apologize and tell them you'll give them the draw of the following turn. Right? That's the best you can do, I think. Sorry. Fast car. Okay, so we didn't draw land. We drew Welcoming Vampire though. Not bad. Alright, so we'll start off by attacking someone. Don't miss out on this damage. Like, every little point matters with this deck, so don't skip out on the damage. Send 2 Vigilance at someone, and then give someone a draw. Redraw. Didn't hit a land. That's a bummer. But this is actually not a bad draw because now we can like just play Esper Sentinel, and then with our red mana we can drop the Greaves. And let's put the Greaves on the Esper boy. And let's go to our next turn. Let's assume we won't draw off Esper this time, but maybe the following turn we will. Alright, we drew a land, so that's great. This hand, I think, now plays itself. We can hold up 1 for the Galadriel's Dismissal, like to hide Arabella. Or we can use this like to clear someone's blockers if we need to just get through. I think the priority is developing like Doll Maker Shop and just getting Arabella online, and you know, Welcoming Vampire is a good draw engine too. Maybe we do that first. No, we don't have the mana for that, right? We have to, I think, play Doll Maker Shop and then Arabella, and then we send Lauren. Actually, we could send Arabella, right? Let's not forget the Greaves. So I think we go Doll Maker Shop, bait auto counter if someone has it, then play Arabella, move boots to Arabella, send this. Want to send one of these too. This is a toy, so we won't get a 1/1 if we attack with just Arabella. So we want to attack with one of these also, and then that gets us the 1/1. We want to make sure we stack the triggers so that the Doll Maker Shop resolves first. It makes us our 1/1, right? and then Arabella's trigger goes off, sees that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures, and boom, everyone takes 4, we gain 4, and all of a sudden we're back in it. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to post a gameplay video so you can check out how this deck plays out, and I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already, and join my Discord. I'm going to keep saying it until you do it. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the game. Matt from Surf City TCG signing off. And please subscribe to my channel and watch the video later, if you want.
Under Surf City TCG.
That's the one.
Okay.
Thank you. Alright, I'm going to randomize this 3 times. Here we go. Once, twice, thrice.
Caesar.
Holy cow. That is nothing but land. Huh.
Oh, Caesar. That's land, but not enough land. Ugh.
You'll
It's
draw.
gonna be better to start with.
Yeah, I can keep.
Okay, that's better. Green, blue, red. Okay.
I'll keep, I think.
That's
Yeah,
4
no,
good
well,
hands.
It's like everyone's ready. Good
Good
luck,
to go.
have fun.
Good luck.
Oh. I'll play planes and I'll pass.
Draw. Plains. As the Marshal. When it attacks with 2 other creatures, I make a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. And I'll pass.
Draw. I'll play a tapped Elegant Parlor. I'll surveil one. We'll leave that on top. Pass.
Draw. So we'll do Cinderlay tapped. Pass.
Swamp. Tap. I'll cast Arcane Signet. And I'll pass.
Draw. Forest. Pay 1 for my commander. Go to combat. Swing 1 over at Caesar. And pass.
And tap, upkeep, draw. So, planes and tap 2 for a Scrawl's Hive. And I will pass.
Draw. We're gonna do Island. Tap 1 for an Elvish Mystic.
Mystical.
And we will pass the turn.
Okay. I'll play a Clifftop Retreat. And I'll go ahead and pay for a One Ring, and if it's cool, I'll tap it and put a counter on it.
No, it's not cool.
Right.
Definitely not cool.
All right, and then I'll draw a card and I'll pass.
I see you were scared of that Has the Marshal hitting you again.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Throw a command tower out there. And I'll pay 3 for Boromir, Warden a Tower, a Vigilant 3/3. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. Then I can
Motherfather.
sack it. I can sack it, and creatures I control will have indestructible until end of turn.
Very nice.
And then the ring tempts me. And we'll just pass.
Here. Bastard. Untap. Not you, him. Untap upkeep. I will lose a life and make a might. A keyboard. Alright. Draw for turn. My unwooded foothills. I guess I'll just play my commander.
Oh.
And I'll pass. It's fine. It's fine.
It's never fine with her.
I'll draw. I will play Side Channel Pathway. What do we do? I guess we do Animar. Cast Animar. And we'll pass the turn.
Okay. I'll untap. I'll lose a life. I'll play a Skull Summit. And guess I'll tap this, put 2 counters on it, draw 2.
He's good.
Seems like a pretty good card.
Alright. It's pretty good.
Go figure.
I feel like it's 8 worthy. It's really not that good of a card. But in a slow ass game, I guess it is
Lol.
really good.
I mean, it was in my hand, so.
Divine Visitation.
Yeah.
And I'll have 7 in hand.
In my other deck, that with my Unwinding Clock is pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright. That's it.
Pass on that. Throw planes out there. Go to combat. Not really attacking you, Caesar. I just need to swing 3 out, so I am attacking you.
Right.
Swinging
I'm not
5
attacking you, I am.
power over at you.
You got
Send
it.
them all on the attack. I'll make a 1/1 white soldier creature with lifelink.
You're gonna regret that.
You'll rue the day.
Right.
You have to attack with at least 2 other creatures.
Yep, I did. Boromir has vigilance.
Oh,
I'll
I see.
pay 4 for Smothering Tithe.
Ooh, see, you guys are worried about me.
Well, if you didn't have the ring, Smothering Tithe wouldn't be nearly as big of a problem.
Feed me. And I'll look for that token and pass.
I think I will feed you. You look hungry.
Num 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 num.
Boy. Okay, end step, I'll sack the wooded foothills. The top sacred boundary. And tap, upkeep, lose life. Never mind. Draw for turn. Not paying for tithe.
I thank you.
Play a flooded strand. I'll crack it. Just get the basic planes.
It's like Arabella Landfall.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Arabella a lot of damage here in a second.
Heyo.
I'll play Esper Sentinel. That's good. Then I'll pay 3 for Gleeful Arsonist. Does this scan? Yes. And then I'll head to combat and I'll send both of these over a booster. So on attack, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures that are under 2 power or less. So everyone lose 5, I gain 11.
And then how much damage will I take?
Just 2. And then you'll get 1 poison counter from the might.
Okay.
Cool. And that is all I got. Pass.
Draw for turn. Okay, what do we do here?
You want to pay the 2?
Negative. We'll do Ozolith of the Shattered Spire.
Nice.
Trigger Esper Sentinel.
It's a. Oh yeah, not paying.
Okay, and you also lose one life from Gleeful Arsonist. And
Alright, lost a
not
life.
paying for tithe. I tapped out.
Lost a
I think
life. Oh, this way. Oh, doesn't matter. All right. Sadly, I missed tap. That's okay.
You don't need blues.
1, 2 for Galarna.
Tricky.
Goes to 3. And then I will pass the turn.
All right. Take 2. Play a mountain.
Pay the 2?
Did I know? No, lad. No bueno. 2, I'll cast Talisman of Hierarchy.
Esper trigger and lose 1 from Gleeful Arsonist.
Oh, for Esper. Let me think about it.
Sure.
Damn. To do stuff or not? No, you got it.
Okay,
And I assume you don't pay the 2.
this is correct.
Yes. Oh. I guess this is kind of just tough. Yeah, okay, we'll just do this. Fuck it. We'll cast Wild Wasteland.
That's a cool card.
And then I'll go ahead and just pay 1.
You take 1 from that cast.
Okay. And I guess I'll take another one then if I cast another one.
If it's non-creature.
It's only non-creatures.
Okay, yeah, I'll take one more. Creature tokens I control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. And that's it.
All the mana. What are we gonna do?
Absolutely nothing.
WTG, win the game. Come on.
Play a Fountain Port. I'll go ahead and just throw away these 5 treasures for a broken card called Conclave Evangelist. It's a 4/4 with Myriad. Whenever Conclave Evangelist deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of Conclave Evangelist.
Nice. So conclaves that make conclaves that make conclaves.
Exactly. It's so broken.
The myriad copies just make
They disappear,
myriad
but if they
copies
do
that die,
damage, they will make a copy if they do damage.
but the copy
So
will
the original
die
copy
also.
goes away, but not the copy it makes when it deals damage.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's crazy. Pay 3 for Toby, Beastie Befriender. It's a 1/1. When it enters, I make a 4/4 white beast creature token with this creature can attack or block alone. And as long as I control 4 or more creature tokens I control have flying.
Very nice.
At the moment, I only have 2, and I don't think I have one of those 4/4 beasts, so I'll draw one up here in a second. Go to combat. I'll swing a 1/1 lifelinking soldier over at Caesar, Boromir over at Arabelle, and has the Marshal at Caesar also, just to make that a secondary soldier token.
How much do I take?
4 for you, and blocks, or 3 for you, Arabelle.
Okay.
And we'll pass on that.
Upkeep, make a might, this life. Go for turn. Interesting.
Well, I think it's clear who the threat is.
Is
Did you
it?
pay the 2?
No.
You mean the man whose name is Punisher is punishing us?
What?
No. I would have never guessed that in a million seconds.
Oh,
I don't know. Animar can just win out of nowhere, so
Yeah, you never know
pretty
with
scared
Animar.
of you. I'll drop a planes, and I'm gonna pay 5. I'm gonna cast Taunt from a Rampart.
Which does.
Go to all creatures opponents control, and those creatures cannot block until my next turn.
Beautiful. And what's that called?
Taunt from the Rampart. You can scan it. It works here. Cool. And if that is resolving,
Come on.
nice. Creatures can't block either.
Right.
correct. Oh, well, these creatures that are in play right now can't block.
Okay.
Any new ones that enter can.
Can't block, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I will head to combat, and I'm gonna send everything at you, Punisher.
Damn, we take 5-6 damage.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
6.
Is that one
So everyone
toxic?
lose 6. It's 2 toxic.
You can check in Spelltable.
Yeah. So everyone should have lost 6. I gained 6.
Yep.
And then Punisher, you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all I got. Passed.
Oh, man. Draw for turn.
You pay the 2.
A negative. Negative.
Is that a button?
Yeah.
Okay, let me do this.
Does it say something if you press it?
Yeah, but the mic doesn't pick it up.
Oh, I totally heard that. That's hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
Okay. So we'll do.
I got this one.
For Defiler of Vigor.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What did you play?
Defiler of Vigor.
Ooh,
Nice.
scary card.
Start paying life.
What's
Life.
Animar up to now?
I still gotta pay 1 mana for something because if I don't, I'll get countered.
Oh yeah. Good job, Boromir.
So, that damn old Smothering Tithe. Bullshit.
How many cards in hand, Punisher?
2.
Yeah, he's got no draw engine, so whatever.
Green and 4
Help
life
me.
for a Silverback Elder.
You.
Two.
Two counters each.
Oh yeah, 2.
How many does Animar have?
8.
Your dice are like impossible to see. It looks like 11 to me. You didn't have to do that.
Is that better?
Way to go.
It's
I think those are worse.
slightly better.
Dice insecurity.
Here you go. This one big enough.
Okay.
It's less about the size and more about the contrast.
What I always say.
Yeah. That's why I was using yellow on green cards instead of green ones on green cards. I want to draw cards, but I don't want to give you all that stuff. I gotta draw cards. 2 for Jingataxis Core Augur.
Silverback.
That's let's destroy Smothering Tithe.
Yeah, I figured.
And then Animar has to attack anyone but Surf City, huh? He will attack Punisher.
Block with the 1/1.
What color
Check
is
Or
it?
it can't block. It can't block. Right? Or was it just you that it couldn't block Surf?
Nothing that was out can block until my next turn.
Oh, son of
Yeah.
a gun.
Plus
And it's white
Animar is
anyways.
pro white.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
I didn't want to kill Pooster because he's going to help me get rid of Surf City, I think. I will move to my end step. I'll draw 7 cards.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's helping you right now. You seem to be
I
clearly
do
the
not-
biggest threat.
I do not
You've a-
expect help at the moment.
You have a Jin-Gitaxias Core in play?
Yeah, you can kill it. And I will pass. I got to discard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Discard 3. I'll discard.
You have 3 land in play?
So we have to discard our hand at the end.
At
Yeah.
the end, yeah. Your maximum hand size reduces to 7. Stillbane Hydra's gone. We'll get rid of Gwenna and Fanatic of Ronos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Turn is passed. So you lost 2 at upkeep, right?
Yep.
And then all without making treasures.
Buddy. Oh. I exile the top 2. I don't draw actually.
Yep.
But I'd play the land, so. I think I'll pay 1, 2. 3, 4. Make sure. Yeah. I'll cast a Lethal Scheme. I'll destroy target creature or planeswalker.
Yeah, Punisher, that was 11
Yay.
damage, by the way. 8.
What are you targeting?
It's gonna be Arabelle.
What?
You're not gonna kill Jin? You want to pay 1 for Esper Sentinel?
No,
No,
I don't really give a fuck about Jin.
You don't want to kill? Oh, wow.
Alright. You also take 1 from the Hearthborn Battler. I'll draw.
Okay.
She is dead.
Quite
I
surprised.
mean, Jin's not gonna kill me, so. I mean, his creatures may, but I mean that Annabelle like actively is gonna kill me.
It's just a doll.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's just a direct damage doll.
Guess I'll pay the 4 to cast Luminous Broodmoth. Actually, no. Yeah, Luminous Broodmoth. Then I'll go ahead and discard my hand. Aurelia, the Law Above, and Terror of the Peaks.
Yep.
That's it.
Draw. Play a Seiju who endures. Pay 6 for Gruff Triplets.
Cool.
Then make some
Some more gruffs.
some gruffs. Make 2 more gruffs. I swear I just had them sitting here. I looked up and they disappear. Stupid gruffs.
It's a gruff life.
Heyo. I control 4 tokens at least, so my tokens have flying. Literally, where did the gruffs go?
Chicago, Illinois, 60652. Here's a Scruff McGruff.
I don't get it.
I'm old. It's the Cram Stopper commercial. Oh, you're making me YouTube this shit now, huh?
Go to combat. And we'll swing the Conclave Evangelist over at Arabella.
You can't attack me.
I can't. Okay.
And everything has to attack.
I'll have to kill Pooster.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're flying. Oh, no, your tokens. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And I'll send the Conclave Evangelist over at Pooster. And then send 2 life-linking soldiers over at Animar on the attack. I'll make a
You gotta attack with everything.
Oh, was it everything?
Yeah. Everything that was out, yeah.
Okay.
So not
Sorry,
the
Booster.
No, you're good, man. I needed to die. I was getting stale.
The rest of it's coming at you.
Boromir? Oh, he's got vision. I keep forgetting that.
All right. So making the Conclave Evangelist, 1 for Animar and 1 for Arabella. They are flying.
I don't have anything of reach, so I'll take, how much is it?
4
right.
plus 2.
I'll see you later, gentlemen.
6.
See you, bud.
See ya. GG.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And with the no blocks, I'll make 2 Conclave Evangelists that actually stick around.
How much am I taking? 4?
Yes. And we'll pass. Very confused about where those gruffs went, though.
Untap. Upkeep. Lose life. Make a knight. Show off return. Did you discard your hand on and stuff? Play Bloodstained Mire and crack it. None.
Am I dead? Am I dead?
No. Pay 3 for a Hearthborn Battler. Say 2/3 with haste, and whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, he deals 2 damage to the opponent of my choice.
Okay.
I will pay 1 and Path to Exile Jin.
And is that the gain life or the
Find a basic into play
Okay.
tapped.
praise be?
And then on cast, that's my second spell, so I'll deal 2 to you, Medric.
Yes, sir.
All right, I am just going to pass.
Untap, okay, draw. All right, how do we do this? Um, pay 2 life and a red for Ruby Daring Tracker. And I'll gain 4 life from Silverback Elder. It counters 2, 4, 4, 6, and then 2. Four. Then 6, 12, 14. You're at 37 life. Sweet Jesus.
I mean, of the 2 of your opponents, I think I'm not the threat at this point. But
I didn't see you as a threat. I
whatever
said
you
you
think.
had life.
I didn't say you said I was the threat.
Biophagus for 6, 6, 6, 6. And I think still on the board where if you cast a spell with no mana, it's countered, right?
Yep.
Is that that's a creature?
Yes. Boromir.
Okay. Can't do anything about that. So I'll look at the top 5 cards of my library, put a land from one them into the battlefield tapped. 1, 2, 3, 5. The Copperline Gorge tapped. My very random order. We'll do a green and a blue for Hydroid Crassus.
God.
12, 24. He's going to come in with 25 counters. I'll draw 20.
Wait, why is it
How much
25?
life did you pay?
None. I paid a green here and a blue here. And these are 18. Sorry, 18. So he's going to come with 19. So I gain
Okay.
9 life and draw 9 cards.
Nice.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 2, 2, 6, 4, 2. Then I'll draw a card off and coming in. Nothing else can win. 1, 2. 2 red and a blue, a green and a blue. We'll do the land for turn. Will be a mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, on your second spell, I'll shoot you for 2, Medric.
2. Deal. 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't help me. Let's move to combat. You got a ton of blockers, three green blockers, and the rest are not.
1 green, white, and 1 white.
Yeah, as long as they're white, it's fine. You can't block him. I'm just gonna die here anyways. The crackback, huh? 7. Here's 2 counters. So we'll swing it to you with Silverback, Defiler, Animar, and Elvish Mystic.
4 coming over.
There's 4 creatures yet.
Wondering if I want to sack Boromir yet. Any of them have first strike by chance?
No first strike. There's trample here. Pro, white, black. Those are the only keywords.
How big's your trampler?
6, 12, 14.
Block Animar with Gruff Triplets, the non-token, and block the Trampler with 2 4/4s.
Oh,
And then you've got 3 more, right?
where'd the other 4/4 come in?
The Beast.
Where'd you get the beast?
When I played Toby.
Was that before he goaded him?
Oh, was it goaded?
Yeah.
And it would have attacked. Yeah, okay. Take 4 damage.
I guess take extra 4 damage, Medric, if you would have attacked you with it. It was flying.
Oh, me?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
All right, so 4.
All right. So yeah, we'll just have to sack here. Block block the Trampler with a 4/4, 4/4 to the Elfish Mystic, a 3/3 to Silverback, and a 3/3 to that other one. I can't read its name. Jelana.
Oh no, this one's not attacking. Just these 4.
Oh, good.
Just 4 creatures.
Okay.
I tapped him for mana. That's why I moved him over.
All right, and those are my blocks. Let me know when you move to damage.
Before damage, I'm going to pay 2. I'm going to Cycryph the one blocking Defiler Vigor.
Trigger Esper Sentinel and take 1 off the Arsonist.
I'll pay the
Yeah.
1.
Okay. Take 1 off the Arsonist.
Yeah, I did.
Token disappears. I'll sack Boromir.
Okay, so you take 14, and then the rest are blocked. And pass turn. I gotta move the discard. 1, 2.
God, I thought we were dead. Once you sack Boromir.
Uvenwall Tracker, Court of Gambreak, Sun Quan, Lord of Wu,
Woo!
and 3 lands. I drew him with not enough mana to cast him.
Thank goodness.
Go to combat.
Yep.
What do you have up, Magic?
Nothing that flies. I have a 18/18 and then a 4 or 3/5.
The Hydroid Crisis has flying.
Oh, does it? Oh yeah, Flying Trample. And a 3/5. I'm used to it being up the top.
All right. I'll send a Conclave Evangelist to each of y'all. They both have Myriad triggers.
So 2 coming at each of us.
And 2 Lifelinkers coming at Medric. Has the Marshal coming at Arabelle. And Gruff Triplets, non-token, coming at Medric, and send a 4/4 Flying Beast over at Medric.
All right, I'll block one of the original Myriad guys.
What's coming at me?
I'll take 4, 8, 9, 10. I'll take 10.
Hold on, don't take anything out. What's coming at me?
You've got a Has the Marshal and a Conclave Evangelist, which they both have Myriad triggers, so you'll each have 2 Conclave Evangelists coming at you.
How many things have lifelink?
Just 1, 2 things, 2 soldiers, and I just made 1 on the attack.
And the Has the Marshal has 2, right? No? Okay.
No, it's just a 1/1. If you want to kill it, you can.
No, it's okay. So, sorry, is that the only thing attacking me aside from the Myriad guys? The Has the
Yep.
Marshal? Okay, I'll block that with Khalifa Arsonist. It's a 1/2. And the others have flying, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we could go to damage now.
I'll block one of the 4/4s of flying.
Okie dokie. Not the Gruff. All right, so you'll take.
The Gruff's coming to me too?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'll
Wait.
work the Gruff with this guy.
Wait, shouldn't the Gruff have counters? Because 1 died?
No, he Cycryphed it.
Oh, okay.
I'll block it with 3/5.
Okie dokie. Go to damage. Gruff dies.
I
1
think
Conclave
Wait.
dies.
Doesn't that have flying?
No, it's
No, it's a non-token
not token.
version.
I thought you sacked the original?
No, he Psych-rifted. I
Okay.
sacked Boromir.
He blocked with the token.
Okay.
I Psych-rifted the token back to his hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm taking 8. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm taking 10.
You blocked Has the Marshal. Killed it. I had 2, 3 Conclave Evangelists do damage. Make 3 Conclave Evangelists come in. And then I'll put one for a untapped lifelinking soldier here on the same card. And then I'll
You gain
put
2, right?
3
1/1
counters on this gruff, and then gain 2 life. Better watch it.
Mhm. I think it doesn't make sense to do this now. How many blockers do you have, Magic?
2. 18, and 3/5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this now, I think. On your end step Punisher, I'll pay 2. I'll cast Price of Progress. It's gonna do 2 damage to each player for every non-basic they control.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So 6 damage. And I'm
Good
dead.
game, guys.
GG. I'll lose 4. Great. Untap. Upkeep, make a might, lose a life.
More to attack, and I die.
Yeah, I think I have it. Plateau. I guess I'll cast spells first, just to be safe. I'll tap 4, play a Benny Brax Zoologist, and then I'll tap 3 and cast a Lorna of the Third Path, and I'll pop your... Is your only enchantment the Kozilith?
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. Sure, I'll destroy that.
Yeah.
And then I'll do 2 to you from the Hearthborn Battler and my second spell, and then I'll send everything at you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you don't have your commander, huh?
Yeah, no, I don't. So,
yeah. Yep,
okay.
I die.
Phew.
GG. I was going to do this next. Channer's Ignition.
Oh, you had Chandra's Ignition? Jeez.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's one of the ones I drew. I was like, oh, I don't have the mana for it.
Yeah, close game. I thought you were gonna pull, get out of range.
I mean, not having
really
a land
close.
killed me. Like,
Yeah.
I was playing out 3 lands, but I wasn't able to respond to anything. Like, I had mana drain. I had some other things to do that I need land for, but it wasn't happening. Like, it would have been nice to sacrifice everything.
Yeah.
I mean, GG.
GG. You too. Bye.